You saw the title. I ate glass in real life, and I think I'm okay. Alright, so as I'm telling this story, I'm gonna be building a bank in my single player Forever World. So it's your average Thursday. I went to school, I came home, I opened up my Instagram to watch some brain rot reels, and I come across this video that tells me America is poisoning my food and I need to eat healthier. So I immediately went to my kitchen. I was looking for a snack. I found some apples and we had some oatmeal in the cabinet. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna make me some oatmeal and I'm gonna have an apple. This is gonna be the peak healthy nutritional meal. Boy, was I wrong. So I put my oatmeal in the microwave and it comes out like severely fucking dry. So I put in a little butter with it, because you gotta have butter and sugar in your oatmeal. And I put some sugar in it, and I was going to stir it together with my spoon, and the oatmeal was stuck to the spoon. So I like tapped it against the side of the bowl, like the little ding ding ding, to get the oatmeal off. And to my absolute horror, the bowl shattered and glass went into my oatmeal. But the bowl didn't completely shatter, so the oatmeal was like still in the bowl, right? And so I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna waste food, I'm gonna eat this. I downed that shit like a champ. I had a stomach ache, so the first thing I did is I consulted Google. I said, hey Siri, is it okay to eat glass? Of course she said no, and then I was like, I don't believe her. So I dug a little further. Google said that it's alright to eat little shards of glass. So I was like, yeah, alright, we'll be fun. Because I ate the oatmeal in clumps to make sure that if there was glass, it wouldn't scrape against the side of my tunnels. My mouth tunnels. So then I ate the oatmeal. It tasted kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie, it was not worth it. But, we don't waste food around here. I downed that shit like a champ. And I think I'm fine. I'll give you guys an update next video. Let's move on to our next topic. A girl ruined Bob Dylan for me. No joke, ruined Bob Dylan for me. Well, Snow, how did a girl ruin Bob Dylan for you? So, I was listening to Bob Dylan for a little bit. Really liked the song Blowing in the Wind. Blowing in the Wind. I even did a guitar cover of it. I love the song. It spoke to me in ways that I can't even explain. And started talking to this girl, and she knew Bob Dylan, so I was like, holy shit, I mean, this has got to be a sign. I just got into Bob Dylan. I mean, this has got to be great. Bob Dylan carried my 6-hour shift at over at the Wally World, but that's for another video. Hate that place. And I hope Bob Dylan isn't a bad person, and I'm kind of afraid to Google it. We started talking, she was immediately attached, which should have been the first red flag. What the hell's going on down here, man? Man. What? I'm trying to talk about Bob Dylan, get out of here! You damn rascals, fucking buffoonery. She was too attached, which should have been the first red sign. And then I went to a party with her, and, I thought this was going to be good. This was going to be a good thing. We were going to a party. This is good bonding experience. But then, a little over halfway through the party, someone lost $100. I know. Yeah, baffling. But anybody could take $100, you know what I mean? Anybody could take $100. Why would I suspect that it was her? Well, at first I didn't suspect it was her, and I was actually quite on her side. But then this guy at the party was like, "Hey, I caught you stealing from me before." And immediately everyone was kind of pondering, but that doesn't automatically rule her as a suspect, right? Well, of course not. I mean, we need definitive proof, right? And so they search down everyone's pockets. They don't find anything. Understandable that they would search down pockets. They even searched down my pockets. I'll gladly empty my pockets. I didn't take anything. I'm not going to throw a fit. She absolutely throws a fit, starts crying, is like, why are you guys targeting me? You know, and still I was like, well, there's no way it could be her, right? She's just emotional. So she gets kicked out of the party because for some reason everyone at the party believes it's her, except for me. And I'm not trying to leave really. I just met these people, want to have a good impression on them. And she gets thrown out. She's like, are you coming with me or not? I was having fun. I was like, not. I'm still a little confused. Then she goes home. She's throwing a fit. She makes a big deal out of it for the next few days. I mean, I was just trying to drop it. I was tired of it. I didn't really, you know, I was trying to be as supportive as I could. I was like, hey, I'm here for you, but, you know, if you didn't take it, you have nothing to worry about. But I've never seen someone react this way to something that they didn't do. And at this point, I'm still like on the fence. I'm like, I don't know if it's her. Mind you, she is unemployed, has no job, and no financial income. And then the next day, she goes on a shopping spree. And I'm not talking a light shopping spree. I'm talking like 3 posters, snacks, bought her best friend shit. Like I'm talking like you at least had to have like at least like 60, 70 bucks, which I know for a fact she had 0 money in her bank account because we were talking and I had to buy shit for her a few days before. So I'm still like, did she take this money? I'm confused. Where did this money come from? And then out of nowhere, she blocks me. She just absolutely blocks me. I guess this is guilt from maybe taking it. I'm convinced she did. I don't understand why you would do any of that. And more into why she ruined Bob Dylan for me. I was fascinated in her interest, you know, obviously you're talking to someone, you got to show interest in them. And, you know, I did just that. And, towards the end, I guess we were uncompatible. She was just always trying to seek my attention, and I was giving her my full attention, but I go to school, I have work, she does not have school, she does not have work. She wanted me to take off work and school to come see her, which I just was not bending. I'm not gonna be that guy. I need school, I need work. She didn't understand that, which is mind baffling to me. So I moved on, and at least for the moment, I can't listen to Bob Dylan, which really sucks because I was really fucking with that song. Moving on to our next topic, I am going to be telling you guys about the absolute best Subway order. You can get the $6 barbecue grilled chicken foot-long for just $6. Why is this a deal, you ask? Well, because your average foot-long, you're looking to spend around $14 to $16 to $17 where I'm from. So Subway comes in clutch for me when the barbecue chicken sub is just always there. I can always just work a long shift and then immediately think of my barbecue grilled chicken sub. I mean, they also got the salami sub, but let's be honest, ain't nobody eating that shit, man. Ain't nobody eating that shit, man. Ain't nobody want that shit, man. I mean, if you like salami subs, like, nothing against you. It just personally is not my taste. I've actually started making friends with the Subway worker. He knows exactly what I'm gonna order. He doesn't even have to ask me anymore. He's like, barbecue grilled chicken? I'm like, yes, sir. He knows I'm broke. He knows I'm broke. No shame in it. No shame in it. He comes into work absolutely every day, so you know Subway's his life. I believe when he talks to his tender day, he's like, so, what's your favorite Subway order? And then, probably brings her sub, so he probably pulls all the ladies. You know, I'm sure that's the strategy. So, my bank's coming along nicely. I have not made any videos on this world, but I can assure you everything is 100% survival. I don't really even care to prove it to you. I'm gonna be doing a story time every now and then, let's hope, while I'm building, expanding my village. The rules for this server are I am not allowed to get any inspiration at all. And what I mean by inspiration is, I mean, the only inspiration I'm allowed to get is from in real life. Right here, I'm literally getting inspiration from an in real life bank. I'm gonna dive into the Iowa frat incident, the hazing incident from 2024. I watched Penguin Zero's commentary on that. He went and at first I didn't watch the video because I thought he was gonna have a negative take on it, and to be honest, I didn't want a negative take on it. But I convinced myself to watch it anyways because, you know, I'm bored. I wanted to see what he had to think about it. And to be honest, I think he commentated it just exactly how I would. I find it crazy funny that a bunch of college students would just not react to the police officers standing in the basement shirtless. I mean, come on. There was a real police officer in front of them. They refused to budge. And hazing in 44 states is illegal. So what they were doing was illegal, and it became illegal because of some death incidents that happened in some other colleges. What they looked to be doing was pretty harmless. I mean, but we don't know the extent of it. They were literally standing in a cold basement with their shirts off. But I think it was hilarious. The consequence for doing that, though, was that their frat got shut down until 2029, which they said was 4 years, but it was more like 4.5 because the frat did get shut down in 2024. Also, I seen Penguin Zero cover this as well, but AMC theaters are bringing AI shorts to theaters. So now, whenever you're going to watch your movie, you know those ads that play before your movie in the movie theater that can go up to 20-30 minutes? Well, they are going to be adding AI shorts. And they're still crediting directors. You know, the guy who typed in the prompt. They're crediting those guys. The guys who typed in the AI prompt. I don't like the fact that AI is going into theaters. I already didn't like the fact that there was ads before my movie that I'm paying for. I'm paying just about as much as a streaming subscription to go watch a movie in real life, which most people go to these to pick up girls or go on dates and you know, just basic stuff like that. Ain't no one got the money, man. Ain't no one got the money to go watch AI shorts. And you're forced to watch these if you're going to the movie theaters. They're literally gonna shove it down your throat. AI slop. I'm baffled. To make the bank look a little bit more realistic, I'm gonna add a note block on both ends, so the note block's kind of gonna be like a receptor or something that they can communicate with. You make some levers too. And then we're gonna finish adding the path over here from both ends at the door. Alright, let me not lose train of thought real quick. So let's say that this is where they're speaking. This is where they are receiving. You always see that little nice lady across from you, standing there, talking to you. She's always right here. Let me add her workbench. Her workbench. She's like, what can I do for you today? And then you tell her, and then she's like, yeah, we're coming right up. And then she works. Sends your money back over through a tube. Go to sleep so he doesn't get me. I have yet to name this village as well. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. Whatever the top comment says, that's what I'll name it. Unless it's complete, like, stupid, I'm not gonna name it something stupid. For obvious purposes. This is my forever world, and this is just my starting village. I'm pretty proud of this village. I've only been playing on this world for, I'll show you guys the statistics, but I've been only playing on this world when I've been doing my AP language reading. I've been turning on the ebook for it. Time played, About a little over 12 hours. I'll give you guys a little tour of each of the buildings at the end of the video as well. I'm gonna just give you guys a little building montage until I'm done with this, because I don't have any more topics to talk about, at least for the rest of this video. Alright, now let's get some shut-eye, and I'll give you guys a tour of the village. Coming up right here, this is the first building I ever made. It's just kind of like the miner hut. It goes all the way down to my mines, which I gotta come down here anyways to go grab my riches, so I can transfer them over to the bank. I'm pretty broke, but that's just because I have not focused too much time into mining. Put these in here, bada boom, bada bang. And then right here is my house. I haven't fully moved in yet from the miner hut, but I want to wait until the village is up and finished. It has a long way to go, but I have high hopes. Right here we have kind of my idea of a blacksmith, and he's also a potato farmer. I also want to move villagers all the way into this village after I border it off. All these houses have a purpose. Like the bank, for example. Right here, this is where I'm going to keep my horses. Once I get horses, get some animals, and we're farming wheat here. Right here is where we are going to have our trading villagers, which, the trading hut. They have a nice little 2-story home with a balcony, and we have a chicken up here on the balcony, which I will be naming in a future episode. Hi, buddy. Right here, we have the market, where if you ever run out of food, you come over here, you can buy some food. On the special, we have the apple of life for 5 diamonds. We have beetroot for 1 iron nugget, carrots for 2 iron nuggets, and apples for 2 iron nuggets. Up here is where we're going to hold overstock once we get overstock. Right here is just the little concession stand. You know, you're outside, you're looking around, you just want a quick little snack. You don't... We have a natural spawning lava pool, which I thought was really fascinating to keep in the village. And over here we have our watchtower, which is where we started the video off. And over here is my chest unit for whenever I need to build. I put all my building materials that I use to build in here, which is pretty helpful because everything has a place. And then, of course, we have my fountain. And I think that's going to be it for the YouTube video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Subscribe, like, so I never have to work a day in my life ever again. The cost of living is so high.